This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
First at 11, plans are underway so that family, friends, and law enforcement can honor an IMPD officer who made the ultimate sacrifice. 24-year-old Officer Brianne Leith was shot and killed yesterday while responding to a domestic violence call. And this afternoon, police escorted a procession carrying her remains from the coroner's office to Crown Hill Cemetery. The Central Indiana Police Foundation is accepting donations to assist with the burial arrangements and to provide a trust for Officer Leith's young son. You can find contact info on our website at theindychannel.com. Leith's family is asking for privacy at this time.
We are learning more and more about Officer Leith's life and legacy through the people she touched in the community. As RTV6's Cameron Riddle shows you, one of those interactions happened in a parking lot and will be cherished for a lifetime.
Take one look at Officer Brianne Leith, and the first thing you'll notice is her infectious smile before feeling the warmth of her heart. That's exactly what Shelby Weesey noticed when she met Officer Leith in an East Side Dollar Tree.
Her and another officer were in there shopping, and me and my daughter and my mom were shopping, and she just caught my eye as soon as I walked in the door, and I'm like, oh my goodness, she's so pretty. So I was like, hey, I just wanted to tell you, you were so pretty. And her smile like lit up the whole entire room. Just such an amazing person.
Weesey says in that moment, she felt like she made a new friend. Their conversation continued after walking out into the parking lot when Officer Leith called over Weesey's then 2-year-old daughter, Nellie.
She was like, hey, come here. I have a surprise for you. Talking to my daughter, Nellie, and grabbed her hand and took her over to her trunk. It was like, do you like stickers and crayons and coloring books? And my daughter was like, yeah. So she got her that. And then she said, I have one final surprise for you, and popped her trunk and gave her a teddy bear. And I tell you, to this day, like, I will never forget the smile she put on my daughter's face. Like, I'm going to cry right now.
Officer Leith's compassion and spirit is forever captured in this picture from that day in October 2019. While her life was cut short, her legacy lives on.
Who gave you that bear?
A fish.
That teddy bear is now named Bree.
She's a hero in my daughter's eyes. I'm very, very blessed and grateful to have had the opportunity to meet her, and I will cherish that moment for the rest of my life.
In Indianapolis, Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
And the man accused of killing Leith and shooting another woman faces murder and attempted murder charges. Police took 27-year-old Elias Dorsey into custody shortly after the shooting yesterday afternoon. Investigators were called to a disturbance between a boyfriend and girlfriend on Edinburgh Square on the east side. IMPD says officers were outside of the apartment when someone shot at them. Officer Leith died at the hospital. The other victim is stable at Methodist Hospital.
Right now, we do not know exactly what led to that domestic violence call, but survivors and advocates are raising awareness about the issue. We want to warn you that some people may find the images in this story disturbing to see. Renita Hills is a survivor of domestic violence. These pictures from the hospital show how close she came to losing her life. Many people don't realize they're in a domestic abuse situation, which can involve emotional, verbal, or financial abuse. Renita is grateful to the officers who risked their lives and says many people don't know how hard it is to leave a violent situation.
I'm a survivor myself, so I know that feeling to be calling and needing help and hoping somebody comes in time. This wonderful, wonderful woman put her life on the line.
Renita's organization, Voice of the Victim, helps survivors get the tools they need to survive, like financial planning and counseling. Sadly, advocates say COVID-19 is prompting a surge in domestic violence in central Indiana.
And now to everything you need to know about the coronavirus pandemic. We start with the toll the outbreak is taking on lives. According to Johns Hopkins University, there are more than 1.6 million cases of the virus around the world. That includes nearly 500,000 cases in the United States. More than 102,000 people have died worldwide, including more than 18,000 in the U.S. More than 376,000 people have recovered internationally. There are more than 28,000 recoveries in the U.S. And in Indiana, there have been 300 COVID-19 deaths. More than 6,900 people have tested positive for the virus. More than 35,000 people have been tested.
For the first time, the state has analyzed the racial makeup of the COVID-19 numbers in Indiana. As states collect more data, it's evident coronavirus is disproportionately impacting African Americans, and that's happening here in Indiana, too. RTV6's Cornelius Hawker got some insight from an expert at IU who explains why this should not be a surprise, considering race plays a significant factor in many aspects of people's lives.
From the data we have, African Americans make up nearly 10% of the state population, but account for nearly 20% of all COVID-19 cases and deaths. For more insight on this, I talked to Dr. Brianka Merritt from the IU Public Policy Institute.
And these are things that are a function of policies and practices that have taken place over the course of decades that have kind of manifested themselves in other arenas such as income and health broadly, but now we're of course seeing that show up in COVID as well.
Whether it's employment opportunities or where a person can live, Dr. Merritt says those old policies still have an impact today. The example she gave, redlining, which started in the 1930s and was officially outlawed in 1968, made getting home loans impossible for black folks, creating communities that are predominantly black to this day.
We're more likely to shop at the same stores, go to the same churches, have the same social circles with people who might be of a different socioeconomic status or working status. And so because we're clustered together through a lot of federal and local policies, it means that we're susceptible to getting sick.
Dr. Merritt says every facet of African American life has been impacted by these discriminatory practices. So how do we fix it? I asked her what she wanted to see our local, state, and federal governments do to address these problems once this pandemic is over.
By specifically just taking the first step of saying this is an issue that affects the Black community, highlights the fact that community needs more attention and potentially more resources to address some of these systemic problems.
And that was Cornelius Hawker reporting. The State Department of Health says the data they have now is incomplete, but they're going to continue collecting information about race as it relates to COVID-19 to get a better picture of what's happening in our state and then use that data to make systematic changes.
RTV6's Hiring Hoosiers initiative is more committed than ever to connecting you to job opportunities as the pandemic puts millions of people out of work. The outbreak is actually creating thousands of new jobs for companies like Domino's. With normal restaurant operations closed under stay-at-home orders, demand is growing for carry-out and delivery services. Rogers Galloway started at Domino's as a delivery driver when he was a teenager. Now he's the head of training for franchises in Indianapolis. He says the new jobs are not just about the company, they are about the community.
There's people out there that are fully trained to run full restaurants that don't have work right now. There's fathers and mothers of a number of children at home. They need income, and we want to try to provide those as much as we can.
Domino's needs to fill around 350 positions in the Indianapolis area. You can find more information about those job opportunities and many others on our website at hiringhoosiers.com.
At today's White House briefing on COVID-19 and its impact across the nation, President Trump discussed tentative plans to reopen the country.
I want to get it open as soon as possible. This country was meant to be open and vibrant and great, not where people are, staying. And,
Are you determined?
No, I'm not. I would love to open it. I'm not determined anything. The facts are going to determine what I do. But we do want to get the country open.
The president says on Tuesday he will announce a separate task force to handle that aspect of the pandemic.
I think that any intelligent person would be a little nervous given the situation.
Coming up, a Central Indiana woman who founded a medical company is going back to her roots as a nurse. Why she's putting her health at risk to fight the pandemic on the front lines.
Mental health and self-care are important during this stressful time, especially for essential workers. How a Central Indiana yoga studio is helping those people find inner peace. Kevin.
Cold and dry in central Indiana right now, but we'll talk about the timing of some Easter weekend rain that's coming up.
From the station working for you, this is an RTV6 special report.
RTV6 is highlighting many ways Hoosiers are working together to help others during the pandemic, and that includes politicians. While addressing his citizens today, New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio shared a special thank you for a Central Indiana mayor.
Mayor Jim Brainerd of Carmel, Indiana. This man has been mayor for a long time in Carmel, Indiana. He's someone I respect greatly for what he's achieved. I've been to his city. He's done amazing things there. In the spirit of bipartisanship, I will let you know that he is a Republican and someone who, as we talk together, our partisan differences melt away all the time.
Carmel plans to donate 50,000 COVID-19 tests to New York in the next 2 weeks. The city has become the epicenter of the outbreak. The co-founder of one of the companies donating the tests, Apex Medical, says the donation will not impact local testing. De Blasio says he has gotten to know Brainerd through the U.S. Conference of Mayors.
Hoosiers will also be helping New York City on the front lines. A nurse from Brown County is preparing to treat patients in a Brooklyn hospital.
I've visited New York in the past, and it's surreal to be here now and have the streets virtually empty.
Jessica Bussert arrived in New York today. Bussert founded the medical device company Wave Therapeutics, but before that she worked as an RN and traveling emergency room nurse for more than 10 years. Bussert says her mission is to help and learn.
So personally, I'm here to help out in New York, but I'm also here to learn lessons about how to effectively deal with the crisis in the area most impacted. And so my hope is that when I leave New York, I'll be able to come back and bring those lessons learned to Indianapolis.
Over the next few months, Bussert will work 12-hour shifts 4 days a week in an emergency room while managing her company remotely.
Here in central Indiana, people, groups, and organizations continue working together to support healthcare workers in different ways. Tonight, people filled the parking lot at a safe distance outside the Community Hospital North. In a show of support, they surprised nurses and other caregivers by honking horns, flashing car lights, and cheering.
I think it really reaches home to the nurses because we do what we do just to take care of the patients that are in the rooms. But this just lets us know that we are supported from so many other people outside of our own circle of nurses that we work with.
A local radio station also set up in the parking lot, playing music to help create a positive atmosphere. Today, Grace United Methodist Church in Franklin bought more than 100 meals from a local restaurant and delivered them to employees at Homeview Health and Rehab. Organizers say the donation is one way to honor heroes in the community. Workers say they appreciate the recognition. And today at the State Fairgrounds, a Fisher's Church led a special event to help families who might need extra support during this time. I-Town Church and the Department of Child Services worked together to provide food and other goods to foster families. Parents of foster children drove through and received groceries, an Easter activity bag, and other items.
For the last couple of weeks, we've been assessing the greatest needs in our community, making sure that we're responding to the most vulnerable families. And we are in love with our foster care families, men and women who step in and care for other children. We wanted to make sure that every foster family in the Marion County area have the groceries and the supplies they need as they step in to be a foster parent.
There were enough items to serve 1,000 families today. I-Town Church has organized several food distribution events since the start of the pandemic, and they plan to continue until every need is filled. Church leaders say the events are completely funded through the congregation.
An Indianapolis yoga studio has adapted to social distancing by providing a full daily schedule of Zoom classes for its members. And they're giving back by offering those classes and some much needed stress relief for free to essential workers. Through breath.
But taking a moment here to clear the mind, to close the eyes.
And peace of mind.
And just remember, at all times we're breathing, but this moment that we're taking together is to recognize the breath.
Making time for yourself on your yoga mat can bring some light in a dark time. Many indie yogis have kept practicing while social distancing to get some relief from the uncertainty of our current reality. But a moment of self-care is not always a priority for those working to keep others safe from the COVID-19 pandemic. Invoke Yoga Studio wants to make that a more viable option.
We're offering 30 days of unlimited classes via Zoom to anyone who's out working on the front line. So that includes doctors, nurses, mental health specialists, grocers, postal carriers, delivery drivers. So anyone who's out and about working to take care of our essential needs.
It's a gift from a company that has called Indie home for 15 years to serve its neighbors who are taking care of everyone else right now.
The people who are out and about working right now are making a sacrifice, and we're hoping that this is something small that we can do that will offer them a bit of peace in what is a stressful and scary time.
So whether it be a downward dog, a tree pose, or just some Shavasana meditation, it's a free opportunity for those risking their health for their fellow Hoosiers. It's a few moments to focus on them.
Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, eternal peace. Namaste.
And if you are an essential worker or you know someone who could use the free classes right now, you can learn how to give the gift of yoga on our website at theindychannel.com. And we want to hear more stories of communities working together during this difficult time. Share them by emailing us at workingforyou@rtv6.com. Kevin, looks like you have something there.
You recognize this, huh?
No, I'm wondering what it is.
It's a yoga mat. I was listening to your story. I ran to the other side of the basement and I found it.
Because you're sharing your space. Well, Kevin, earlier you showed us your dad was with you. I wanted to show you. I still have Kevin here.
One of me is more than enough.
He's just not as talkative as you are.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Can you tell us what the weather is? Because this Kevin is not telling me.
Yeah, here we go. All right, 60 degrees tomorrow. As we go to the weekend, our rain chances will increase, but it's late tomorrow and the better chance in the morning Sunday and then late Sunday night. But these temperatures are the warmest that we'll see for the entire 7-day forecast. I'm going to jump to tomorrow afternoon, 4 o'clock to around 7. You begin to see some light showers in the western portion of the state. They'll pick up in coverage and intensity between 7 and 11 over the northern half of the state. Rainfall may get a good soaking once again. There are 3 different models. Now, that's through Monday morning at 7 a.m. And I want to point out one other thing. The wind is going to be very strong again on Monday as that cold air flows back in on the other side of the weather system. Temperatures now, there's certainly the story. 40 in Tipton, is 38 in Muncie and in Richmond. Bloomington at 38. A frosty start tomorrow morning. Sky is basically clear. The wind light overnight. That sets a stage for the coldest air to settle to the ground, and these overnight lows will create a frosty situation first thing in the morning. As we go through the day tomorrow, the wind will increase from the southwest. That'll help boost the temperature to 60 degrees. That's still a little below average for this time of year, but at least temperatures do warm up as you see that strong south wind gusting 20 to 30 miles per hour. By the time we get to tomorrow night into the overnight hours, that'll keep our temperatures much warmer. Easter Sunday, the chocolate won't melt under these temperatures, but 61 the afternoon high. The showers in the morning, I think then a break for a while during the afternoon hours before coming back on Sunday night. There, the temperatures peaking in the low 60s south. As you look at Sunday, the chance for severe weather is very high. Moderate risks down in Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana. We'll be on the northern fringe of that threat for strong to severe storms. Showers in the morning. Then you'll begin to see that break in the afternoon before a line of showers and thunderstorms returns early next week. Here's 7-day forecast. Temperatures over the next 7 days stay very cool as you look at the 7-day. All days next week, Monday through Friday, the temperatures will be in the 40s for highs, and overnight lows will be in the 20s, as cool as 28. Mark, I've never delivered a weather forecast standing on a yoga mat, but this is like a magic carpet.
Soothing, isn't it, right? All right, thanks, Kevin, for that. RTV6 is highlighting businesses that are open and serving the community as social distancing continues. That includes resources that are always available to residents, but might come in extra handy if you're getting bored at the same apps and TV shows. RTV6's Brad Brown shows you the doors to the Indianapolis Public Library may be closed, but it is still open to you at home.
For so many of us, the Indianapolis Public Library is not only a place for education and information, but a gathering place. And while the library's buildings remain closed, the library is open in the digital realm. From new releases to the classics, cardholders can still check out material from home.
We've been building this for many years, and we have lots of resources and something for everybody to find immediately when they sign on. It's now becoming aware to people that we have all this. So we're getting lots of questions and lots of calls about it.
The options go way beyond just books. Car repair manuals and audiobooks are both very popular options. And with all of this extra time, you could learn some extra skills.
Hobbies and crafts databases where you can download patterns and you can learn new skills. We have a universal class online where you can take a class and learn how to do Excel, advanced Excel to watercolor painting and, other arts and crafts.
There is also a wide-ranging video selection available, from the early days of Hollywood to foreign films and a long list of movies for the kids. Hundreds of hours of content to help pass the time.
I think that there are a lot of readers that are very happy right now. Those introverts that love to read have all the time on their hands to do this and catch up with their stack of books on their nightstand. But then it's also great for people who, have been so busy in their lives they don't have time to read. Now is a great time for them to, pick up some of those titles and get back into the habit of reading.
The library does have staff working to help answer questions you might have about card renewal or any other customer service issues. You can reach them by calling during regular business hours. That number is 317-275-4184. They also have their Ask a Librarian text line. That number is 317-333-6877. And much of that information is also available online. You can find it at their website at ndpl.org. Working for you, Brad Brown, RTV6.
Just search RTV6. From the station working for you, this is an RTV6 special report.
A California couple could play a key role in discovering why COVID-19 infects some people, but not others. The radio station owner and his wife were among the passengers on a cruise ship that became the site of a coronavirus outbreak. Scripps reporter Amanda Brandeis explains why researchers are eager to study the couple.
We're very much hyper-local, high school football games, to Dodgers, to fourth graders reading book reports.
But now this small radio station north of Los Angeles is only covering one thing.
Join us as we pray for our valley and first responders. KHT.
We always dreamed of owning our own radio station, and so we made that happen in the early 90s.
Now Jerry Soretti Goldman and her husband Carl Goldman are providing 24-hour coronavirus coverage.
Stay safe, stay at home, and let's flatten the curve.
They know the virus well, feeling its wrath weeks before the crisis hit our country.
It was my 60th birthday, Christmas present.
But their Southeast Asia cruise ended in quarantine on the Diamond Princess, where hundreds of passengers became infected.
Once again, we have no idea what the heck is going on.
They both felt fine until the plane ride home when Carl woke up with a fever. He was sent to a Nebraska hospital for 29 days.
10 days in biocontainment and then in the lower level of care, and kept testing positive. It stayed with me.
I was negative the whole time.
It's totally weird. I don't know how she didn't get it.
Jerry was not only exposed to the virus by her husband, but several others while on a bus for 6 hours and then the 10-hour flight home. She quarantined for 2 weeks and continued to test negative.
What was it that kept her from getting it?
Researchers are asking the same question.
We've had people from all over the world want to test my blood.
They'll look for antibodies to see if she actually had the virus at some point but never showed symptoms. If she never had it, they'll study other factors to try and figure out why it appears she can't contract the virus.
And does it have to do with the O positive blood? Does it have to do with my lifestyle?
We thought that was going to get spread.
Carl is also helping researchers, donating platelets, which could help people fighting the the virus.
All the reports are showing that I can't pick up the virus again for many, many, many months.
Rather than dwell on the unknowns, Carl's focusing on what he can control, helping his community and keeping a positive outlook.
Each time I pick up the dog poop now, I do it with a smile and a whole new appreciation.
He believes we'll all come out of this having learned important lessons.
Hopefully we come out better.
Reporting in Santa Clarita, California, I'm Amanda Brandeis.
Today, you can make a difference.
As we hop into the weekend, 60 tomorrow, the chance for rain increases as we go through Sunday, and 61 for the high. Amanda?
Thanks for making RTV6 your choice for news. Nightline is next. Have a great weekend and happy Easter.